Atlanta, we need to talk. This isn't some harmless preseason chatter. This is a gut punch, a reality check, and maybe the spark that lights a fire under the Falcons. The national media just put our quarterback room under the microscope. And what they're saying is going to have fans either furious, worried, or both. We're talking rankings, respect, and a veteran QB whose entire career in Atlanta might be on the line. The latest quarterback rankings from The Athletic just dropped, and Falcons fans, it's not the kind of news you want heading into a season. 50 NFL coaches and executives cast their votes, and when the dust settled, Atlanta's quarterback room was sitting near the bottom of the league. Yes, near the bottom. And that's despite the Falcons spending the fifth most money in the entire NFL on the position. It's a harsh picture: high payroll, low national respect, and a franchise still fighting to prove it has stability under center. This isn't a case of an inexperienced rookie still learning the ropes or an aging veteran just collecting a paycheck. Atlanta has guys who gave everything last year. They battled. They produced moments. And yet, the perception around the league is still cold. The centerpiece of the conversation? Kirk Cousins. He's been ranked as a Tier 3 quarterback, sitting at number 25 overall. And here's the kicker: that's a 12-spot drop from last year. The steepest fall of any quarterback on the entire list. For those who don't follow these rankings closely, Tier 3 isn't meant to be an insult. It usually describes a solid, legitimate starter, someone who can win if they have a strong run game or defense, especially in a lower volume passing offense. But the problem is, Cousins is barely holding on to that tier. 26 voters put him in Tier 3. 24 put him in Tier 4, the group that most coaches believe shouldn't start a full 17-game season if there's a better option available. And why? The skepticism is all about health. Cousins is 36, coming off a major Achilles injury. Rehab takes time, and time is something the NFL doesn't give generously. One offensive coach summed it up bluntly: he should be a Tier 2 QB if healthy, but I don't know if that's where he's at right now, and it's not just the injury. That statement says it all. Questions about mobility, arm strength, and durability are swirling. The numbers don't lie. Cousins is still guaranteed $27.5 million in 2025. That's the price Atlanta paid for veteran stability. And yes, early last season, they got glimpses of it. A 6-3 start, over 2,300 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, and only 7 picks. But then the wheels fell off. The second half of the season collapsed. Cousins lost his job to Michael Penix Jr., and trade rumors started flying. Even a private phone call with Falcons owner Arthur Blank turned into a headline, with Blank saying they'll do what's best for the Atlanta Falcons. Translation? Nothing is guaranteed, not even for a veteran with a massive contract. In Atlanta right now, nothing, and I mean nothing, is guaranteed. If the right trade offer comes in, no player is off the table. Not even Kirk Cousins. Now, some might think his $27.5 million salary for 2025 is a roadblock. But here's the truth. In today's quarterback market, that's not an outrageous price. 19 QBs in this league are averaging over $33 million a year. For a contending team desperate for a veteran starter, $27.5 million isn't a deal breaker if they believe you're the guy. And that's the issue. Nobody's biting. This offseason, veterans like Sam Darnold, Russell Wilson, and Geno Smith were scooped up by other teams before anyone made a serious move for Cousins. That tells you everything you need to know about how the market sees him right now, a short-term, stopgap option at best. Then there's Michael Penix Jr., the rookie who's already shaking things up. Penix landed in Tier 4 of the rankings, with 11 votes placing him in Tier 3 and 39 in Tier 4. Sure, that might sting for a first-round pick. But let's be fair, he's got a small sample size. Just 3 games as a starter, going 1-2, throwing for 737 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Here's the encouraging part. Scouts and executives are already seeing signs he could make the jump to Tier 2 in the future, the kind of leap Jaden Daniels made in record-breaking fashion last year. One executive even went on record saying Penix could make throws Cousins couldn't last season, praising his poise, confidence in the pocket, and pure arm talent. Accuracy? Still a work in progress. Decision-making? Growing every game. But the flashes are there, and that's what the Falcons are clinging to. They're betting that Penix can finally break the 5-year curse at quarterback, a carousel that spun through Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, and Taylor Heinicke, none of whom could lock down the job long-term. But while all eyes were on the QB battle, something else happened that blew up social media. A moment that reminded everyone Atlanta's defense is no joke. Safety DeMarco Helms stepped back on the field for the first time in almost a year after suffering a brutal season-ending ankle injury. And on just the second drive against Detroit, he made sure the league knew he was back. He unloaded a crushing hit on running back Craig Reynolds, the kind of hit you feel through the TV. The refs flagged it for unnecessary roughness, but it was so clean that fans were shaking their heads at the call. Helms didn't apologize. He doubled down, telling reporters, "If they're not wearing my team's colors, I really don't care for them." After missing an entire season with a high ankle sprain that needed tightrope surgery, Helms played like a man making up for lost time. He's gunning for a starting spot next to Jesse Bates III after the team let Justin Simmons walk this offseason. But for all his fire, Helms showed another side of himself too. Late in the fourth quarter, Detroit DB Morris Norris left the field in an ambulance after a collision. Helms immediately sent prayers, and both teams agreed to end the game early out of respect. Thankfully, Norris is already back with the team and recovering. Right now, the Atlanta Falcons are a team split in two. On one side, a quarterback room torn between the future and the past. On the other, a defense with a returning enforcer who's ready to hit like a freight train every single snap. And in the middle, a front office walking a tightrope, trying to win now without sacrificing the future. This is the kind of gamble that can make you a contender, or keep you trapped in the same painful cycle fans have been living for years. So here's the big question, Falcons fans. Is this finally the formula that turns Atlanta into a real threat? Or are we staring at another heartbreak chapter in the same story we've read too many times? Because make no mistake, this season isn't just a schedule of games. It's a crossroads. And in the NFL, perception changes in the blink of an eye. Right now, the national opinion of Atlanta's QB room is brutal, near the bottom of the league. But one hot start, a couple of statement wins in September, and watch how fast those same pundits always knew this team had potential. For Kirk Cousins, the road ahead is brutally simple. Stay healthy. Get on the field. Play like the guy who opened last year 6-3, the smart, efficient veteran who took what defenses gave him and still found ways to win. That version of Cousins can win games, especially with the weapons Atlanta has on offense. But if the injuries hang around, if the arm strength isn't there, the noise for Michael Penix Jr. will be deafening. And let's be honest, after years of waiting for a true franchise quarterback since Matt Ryan, the idea of a young, big-armed, fearless rookie slinging it downfield is intoxicating. Penix represents the unknown. And in football, sometimes the unknown is more thrilling than the safe, steady bet. This offseason, the Falcons didn't just hedge their bets. They went all in on quarterback, pouring serious money into a proven veteran and a rookie with sky-high potential. It's an unusual, almost risky approach, but it gives them something most teams don't have when the season starts to wobble: options. So the stage is set. Two quarterbacks, one city desperate for a hero, a defense ready to hit back, and a fan base that's been starving for glory. Now it's your turn, Falcons fans. Rate your confidence. From 1 to 10, how much do you believe this is the year Atlanta finally breaks through? Drop your number in the comments and tell us why. This season could flip in an instant. One bold mid-season trade, and Kirk Cousins could be gone, freeing up resources and handing the keys to Michael Penix Jr. full-time. Or, if Penix struggles under the pressure, the veteran could step back in and steady the ship while the rookie learns the ropes. Either way, the Falcons are walking a tightrope in a division where 2 games can swing you from first place to the basement. There is no room for mistakes. And while all eyes are locked on the quarterback drama, something else might quietly decide the Falcons' fate: the return of DeMarco Helms. Helms isn't just a safety. He's a tone setter. Physical, fearless. The kind of player who makes offenses think twice before crossing the middle of the field. Pair him with Jesse Bates III, and suddenly Atlanta has a secondary that can punish bad throws and turn mistakes into game-changing plays. That monster hit against Detroit? That wasn't just about sending a message to the Lions. That was a message to the entire NFL. The Falcons' defense isn't here to play nice. But here's the tension. Can that physical, punishing defense buy enough time for the quarterback situation to settle? Can the Falcons grind out ugly wins while the offense finds its rhythm? Or will slow starts bury this team before they even get a chance to fight back? Because this isn't just another season. This is a year where every single snap matters. Every throw, every decision, every injury update could change the entire direction of the franchise. So now it's your turn, Falcons fans. Is this the roster that shocks the NFL, or are we staring at another season of almosts and what-ifs? Drop your answer in the comments, because this is going to be one wild ride.